Hi everybody, I made some lunch today and this is going to be plenty of food here for lunch and dinner. So I just wanted to show you what I did. So first thing is, this is how I make my potatoes. I get the potatoes like that. I get them pretty cheap. At our local grocery store I got 10 pounds for $1.48. They have the big 10-pound bags there. So the easiest way for me to make potatoes is in my rice cooker. So what my recipe is, I use 4 to 5 potatoes and I scrub them. I wash them real good with the scrub brush, and then I chop them up into small pieces, not too small, kind of good size. And then I add 3 cloves of garlic. So I've got some garlic right there, fresh garlic, and I chop the garlic in it and I add salt and pepper. Now I only add enough water to under the potatoes, so my potatoes aren't submerged all the way. So the water level is probably down to here, probably down, like, this is hot so I don't want to get burned, right below the potatoes. So I turn on the rice cooker as if I'm cooking rice. So I've got water in there, salt, pepper, garlic, and my chopped potatoes. I put the lid on and I plug it in and turn it on. So now I do my potatoes like this all the time. It's just easier. It's not as hot because I live in triple digit weather. So what is nice about making potatoes this way is it does not heat up your apartment or your home or wherever you live like as if you were boiling on the stove or if you're cooking in an oven. So this is really nice. So I do a lot of rice cooker cooking. So this is my potatoes now, and then when it's done, this is not going to go off. So don't think your rice cooker is going to go off when your potatoes are done. You have to keep an eye on it. And they cook very fast, much faster than rice, which is hard to believe, but these potatoes cook down really quickly, I guess because they are chopped up good. I like to leave my potato peels on when I make potatoes. Even when I do fried potatoes, I leave my peels on. To me, it just has a more flavorful. And then when it's all done, this is never going to turn off, so you might want to unplug it. And then I get a towel and I drain this in the sink just like this. I hold the lid with one hand and I just pour all the water out myself. And then until just the potatoes are in here dry. And then I leave it in here. And then what I do is I'll just have potatoes as a side. And then once these cool off, I'll put them in a container in my refrigerator. Now what I do is I will continue to eat these as a side dish with my meals. Like instead of having French fries, I could have this, some potatoes with some ketchup. Then what I also do is the next morning when I'm making breakfast, I'll take some of these potatoes out. I'll take like a serving and I'll fry it up in the pan because they're already cooked. So you just have to heat it up. So I'll put maybe like a meat item in there and some a scrambled egg, crack an egg in it, and it makes a really nice breakfast. And you could make a breakfast burrito out of it or just eat it like that. Have like a breakfast scramble, and your potatoes are already cooked, so it cooks super fast. You're really just reheating it in the morning with some egg and throw in some sausage or whatever you want, some bacon, and that is really delicious. So I do that with my potatoes. So, and then also another way you can do is you can make potato salad out of this once it cools. So I do about 4 or 5 potatoes, and you can see it fills this rice cooker. And I don't know what size rice cooker this is. There is I don't know if you can see that. Looks like it cooks 3 cups, maybe. I don't know. So I do cut up 4 or 5 potatoes. And this makes many different meals for myself, since it's just myself. And this comes out really good. And when my son was over, I had some of these. And he's like, and then because I put the fresh garlic in it when it's cooking. So I'm going to make me a plate right now. And my son had some, and he was like, Mom, these potatoes are so good. He goes, how'd you cook them? And I go, you're not going to believe it, but I cook them in the rice cooker. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And so I showed him, like, well, how I did it. And he's like, that is a great idea. And then he's like, Mom, you should do a video on that because that is a really great idea. And I go, well, this is how I always do it because it's just too hot in here, to boil them. Okay, so here are some potatoes. You can see that there's some fresh garlic right there. In fact, these are the potatoes not this batch, but this is how I made his breakfast, his Good Morning Slop breakfast, because I already had the potatoes cooked and I just did the scramble. So I'll link that video so you can see how they turn out in a breakfast scramble. So you can see I still have a lot of potatoes left. And then I made some hot dogs on the stove. What I did is I got some olive oil, put some olive oil in the pan, and I added the hot dogs. Now, I cooked a whole package of hot dogs because I thought if I'm going to go through all that work, I'm going to make all these hot dogs. So, like tomorrow morning for breakfast, if I want to, I could make the egg scramble like I had made for my son with hot dogs because they're already cooked. I just pretty much heating it all up in the pan with the egg. Okay, and then I also made these chili beans. These are just from a can. I do know how to make great homemade chili beans, but it is hot. It is way too hot to be boiling beans right now. Oh, that almost fell off. And so this is some turkey chili that I had got in a can for 99 cents. So this is a really economical meal. I got these hot dogs for 68 cents at the grocery store. These were 10 pounds for $1.48, 99 cents for this can. And you can see I have a tons left over for more meals. And then I also picked up these pepperoncinis for 99 cents. So I'm just going to throw that on top of my hot dog. And then I'm going to add some mustard. Some mustard right here. And I have some ketchup. And then I also cut up some onions. Hold on. Almost done, you guys. I don't want to come out. Hold on. Ooh. That's a little too much. Hold on. Okay, and then I have some onions that I chopped up because I love onions on top of my chili dog. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of onion on my beans and a little bit of onion with my potatoes. So I'm going to add some ketchup right there to eat with my potatoes. That should be enough. And so this is my lunch today. Very economical, very cheap. All stuff I bought on sale. And things that I have in my pantry. The beans are in my pantry. I did just recently buy these, so I'm going to have more jars right there to put in my pantry. And so this is lunch. This could be lunch and dinner for today. Very cheap and expensive meal. And I hope you guys try making potatoes in your rice cooker because it comes out awesome and easy that way. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe.